What's up, gays, straights, and other days? It's Mally. I'm back with another episode of Lady in Mystery. We are in the middle of this case. After basically breaking Seoyeon's heart twice, we basically said, oh, don't worry about it. We'll just avoid you and hopefully these feelings will go away. Well, they're not, and I'm kind of really curious to seeing how we really are going to fix this now. Jesus. Anyway, let's get right into it. We went straight to where translator Choi lives. I managed to stop Guy Hyung from bringing a bat with her, but when we actually arrived, I started to regret that we didn't bring anything. There were beefy servants surrounding translator Choi's house. In front of translator Choi's house was surprisingly quiet, and servants who must have been standing out there for days looked so tired. He must have wanted to keep all the spectators away from his house while the trial is still going on. Guy Hyung just jumped right into the gate, however, without getting intimidated at all. Hey, you goddamn translator Choi! What are you so afraid of, hiding inside your house like a snake? Like the officer from the Ministry of Justice did, translator Choi's servant's face turned menacing. They seemed familiar with Guy Hyung as well when they rushed to her at once. What is she gonna say again today? Gosh, she's driving me crazy. Just go away. Huh. I'm not just going back with nothing. Do you know where the body of my husband who your master killed is? It's in the Pocheong. The Pocheong. This fixer right here revealed everything, confirmed that my husband's death wasn't an accidental death. I came to meet the killer. Guy Hyung shouted out loud and pointed at me, and all the servants stared at me at once. Thanks. Thanks for that. They saw me and Woo-sung's gat and didn't know what to do. Then the gate opened. Thought it was a servant coming out to see what happened, but then I got surprised. What is going on? The owner of the house himself came out in his silk clothes. As translator Koo said, he has a long scar on his eye and he looked skinny and sensitive. I don't see a scar, but okay. He took a glance at me and asked, Who are you? Are you the new lawyer of translator Koo? You seem like a Yongbon. No, I'm Kim Hee-soo from Heejong Bridge. I'm running a spying store called Jonghuso. Now I'm investigating the death of Itaewon Park with the request of Guy Hyung here. I came here to ask you some questions. Translator Choi frowned weirdly for a while and slightly nodded. Oh, you were that famous guy. And who are these companions behind you? My brother and sister. So they're irrelevant to the case. So would that be okay if I only let you in who has some questions about me? I don't think so. Then I should go in first. Guy Hyung stepped into the house with a huff, but then translator Choi frowned and pushed her. Looking down at Guy Hyung falling down on the ground and dumbfounded, translator Choi clicked his tongue. How dare you try to put that lowly foot in my house? I have nothing to say to you. You just wait outside. Translator Choi burst out at her and then went inside. So he's basically asking me to come in alone. Why didn't we bring a bat or a knife? Ugh. I mean, technically you could stab anyone with a fan if you hit them hard enough. As soon as I come to a conclusion, Woo-sung and Juhi shook their head disapprovingly and pulled my sleeves. I should of course come with you, brother. Isn't he the worst bastard ever? What are you gonna do if something happens? If something goes wrong, throw a punch at him like I taught you before. What? Why would I throw a punch? We're just worried. How can you go in there alone when you're so skinny and weak? Thanks, Juhi. Just ask him to come out. They both keep saying nonsense and jump on the spot. Translator Choi is said to be in the house all day since Itaewon Park died, so it might be intimidating for him if we all try to get into his house together. He is a successful businessman, so he won't be that stupid to hurt a Yongbon, especially when that Yongbon came with companies. I pulled Juhi and Woo-sung apart and shook off my sleeves. It's kind of rude to come to his house all together. I'll be out soon. It's fine. You would want to hurt me now if you keep making a big fuss like that, even if he didn't before. If he ever lay a finger on you, I'll cut that guy's throat right away. Thanks, bro. Gosh, what kind of Yongbon talks like that? I got surprised and tapped Woo-sung's arm when translator Choi opened the gate again. He stared at me and then gave a sign to come in with his eyes. Okay, movie transition. His yard was so organized that it looked a little desolate. It was quite different from the translator Koo's house, and his laundry from his washing line is all black and white. He must be a miser since he's living like this even though he's rich. Translator Choi looked really sensitive with his skinny face, yet I could feel the violence from his eyes. Translator Choi shook his head with his gloomy and vicious face. Do you feel uncomfortable being inside the room alone with me? Well, in this yard, there are servants walking around quite often, and your brother and sister can get in any time they want over that gate. I know it might sound rude, but what about we talk in the yard? Translator Choi pointed at the wall with his chin. I don't like how this horror music has not stopped playing since we got here. When I turned towards where he pointed, I caught eyes with Woo-sung, who was looking over the wall on tiptoe. Juhi was grabbing the wall with her hands and got surprised with her eyes wide open. Yeah, those two suck at sneaking anywhere. Hey, you! It's alright. I can't hear the conversation. It's quite far from there. Translator Choi quietly giggled, unlike someone his age. He sounded like he has a hoarse throat. Right, so what do you want to know? Translator Choi raised his chin first. I'm gonna ask... I feel like I should know what he was doing on the day he died. What were you doing on the day Itaewon Park died? Oh? Am I being suspected? What were you doing? When I asked again, Translator Choi smiled deviously and frowned his eyebrows. I've already told the Ministry of Justice, but I was just reading a book in my house. My servants were my witnesses, and the Ministry of Justice believed it and moved on. People from their own house can't be key witnesses, but he said the Ministry of Justice just believed it and moved on. Translator Choi has the strongest motive to kill him, so he has to be interrogated thoroughly, but they just moved on. I mean, Translator Choi got sued by Translator Koo, and if Translator Koo's lawyer was found dead in that situation, they should have investigated him thoroughly. I heard the odds were against you on your trial. Who says that? Translator Choi laughed outright and searched his pocket and pulled out a box of tobacco. He was about to offer me, but after he found out I don't have a pipe with me, he asked for my permission to smoke in front of me. When I told him he can do as he wants, he pulled out some ground leaf tobacco and pressed it into his pipe, laughing. I guess you've already figured it out since you've been investigating this case. The Ministry of Justice hates that lawyer Park so much that when the trial began, they showed a favorable attitude towards me. The Ministry of Justice kept getting interrupted by him every time, so they were waiting for an opportunity to get back at him. I got lucky. Translator Choi put the pipe in his mouth and took a puff. I have nothing but money. What am I gonna do? I started spending money ready to spend all my money. That trial was really working out positively for me. What? Did you see all the servants I put outside? I put them outside just in case that Translator Koo tries to attack me out of resentment. I don't know how much money he spent on the trial, but I'm sure he's furious right now since he was about to lose that case. Translator Choi was actually winning? When I got surprised by that unexpected fact, Translator Choi chuckled with his eyes closed. The translator was smoking his pipe for a while, and I was just standing there looking at the floor or the appearance of a detached house. I wanted to walk around and look around all the things in his house, but given his personality or the way he answers my questions, I don't think he would show me around his house that easily. After a while, the Translator Choi put down his pipe. Then he craned his neck towards the gate and then clicked his tongue. Sir, how much is Guy Hyung paying you? Money? I just got a decent amount just as a token of gratitude. Right, I mean you can't outright try to make money like lawyers since you're Yongbon. Anyway, don't trust that woman that much. Just telling you since you're investigating with her now, she can't be trusted. Why is that? I hear things a lot more than you since I've been living in Itaewon for my whole life. I heard that Mr. Park wrote in his will that he's going to give all his property to Guy Hyung. Giving all his property, which gives her a significant motive to kill him. Which explains why she wasn't so worried when we, I guess, came out with the body. And why she wants to get this guy so bad. Because if you quote unquote catch the fake criminal, then the police are like gonna stop sniffing around, making her free to take his property, right? If he was a lawyer, then he must have quite a lot of money. Must be an awful lot of money. But Guy Hyung didn't say she's going to get a lot of money soon, or where Park left her a lot of money at all. Why would she say that if that would give her away? My commission fee is even paid by Translator Koo, not her. Probably because she doesn't have it yet. Is that true? Why can't I believe it? Well, I have a clear source. What a weird situation it is, isn't it? Why would he leave all his property to a cheap prostitute who can't even be a gisang and just sells alcohol? Especially when his parents are still alive. It's true that he wrote that will when he was alive with a couple witnesses. You know, not everyone can keep their mouths shut. There's no way that they would be able to keep it as a secret. Translator Choi pouted his mouth and scoffed again. That Guy Hyung bitch. She killed her husband and then blamed me for it when something happened. It's just so obvious. I don't trust either of you. I don't trust either of you at all, but I feel like both of you have motive. And we're back in Juhi's point of view. Oh my god. Okay, here we fucking go. When is he coming out? Woo-sung answered to Juhi that he doesn't know and shook his head. Juhi's legs were hurting, so she was squatting down on the wall already, but Woo-sung was still watching Hisu over the wall, hanging on the wall. Guy Hyung was just biting her lips and rubbing wounds on her ankle from the distance. Ever since the moment Translator Choi pushed her, Guy Hyung has felt exhausted like an old lady. Should have gone to Translator Choi and come at him. Should we all go inside together? He's not going to push us like before if all three of us are going in together. You can hide behind me. Good heavens, think before you say something. Juhi never does that, neither do I, so... You're gonna interrupt my brother. Then, the sound of a pole hitting the ground and the crowd rumbling was getting closer. So we have to go and interrogate that translated Choi again. I mean, these documents from the Ministry of Justice are just a mess. I don't know if they missed some files or if they didn't interrogate him properly in the first place. Then Park Wong-sam's voice was resonating in the air, and policemen they met before showed up from the corner. Huh? Ji got surprised and got up, grabbing her skirt. Then Woo-sung fell off the wall. Wong-sam saw Joo-hee and Woo-sung and then screamed as well. Wow, is Detective Sir here as well? What a great coincidence. Oh, this is not doing well for staying away from each other. Ah! He went inside earlier. He said he had something to ask Translator Choi. Then Guy Hyun got up and started nodding. She's more encouraged now that she knows that the Post-young just came to interrogate Translator Choi. Wong-sam with a bunch of policemen seemed quite reliable today, like any normal police officer. There was Damo Seoyeon among the policemen. Oh god, no, babe. Seoyeon somehow seemed oh, I know, like, she's not agitated because of them, but it's so funny. It's like, oh, it's you. Seemed agitated from the moment she saw Joo-hee and Woo-sung, but it didn't take that long, because Wong-sam took all the policemen and went inside the house right away. After the brief moment of policemen going inside the house, outside of the house got quiet again. What is this? We're here alone again. That's right, everyone else just waltzed right in and you three are sitting fucking ducks. There were only Joo-hee, Woo-sung, and Gi Hyung again. Woo-sung looked over the wall again and shook his head. Guess my brother is now about to search the house with the policeman. What? We're just waiting outside like this. How long should we wait? Well, he's gonna come out when he comes out. Joo-hee's not gonna like that answer or take it. What if it gets dark? Wouldn't it be better if we all go in and help investigate and finish faster? Well, that's... I don't know. Why are you always like this? Says you! Gee, you're so annoying. Says pot kettle black, motherfucker. The reason he got in there alone was that it might be rude if we all got together in the first place. But how many policemen are there now? So now there's no reason we have to wait outside. Let's just go inside. But Woo-sung kept looking at Joo-hee like he didn't know what to do. Then he pointed at Guy Hyung with his chin. And what about the client? She can't get into his house at all, but we can't leave her alone outside. There's no way all of us can go inside. Then I'll go inside alone, of fucking course. What? How can a woman get into other people's homes like that? What about Adama who just got in? Is she a man? Most certainly not. Joo-hee got more anxious as the other side of the wall was getting quieter. What if they all leave? She waved her hands before Woo-sung's eyes and rushed him. Come support me here. The wall's high. Ugh. Come on. Hurry. You're such a brat. Woo-sung complained but eventually bent down for her. Of course he did. No matter how shocked Guy Hyung was, Joo-hee stepped on Woo-sung's back without hesitation and jumped over the wall, just like she did when she ran away from her marriage. She did not land well, so her feet were sore a little, but she used to jumping over the wall now and wasn't hard at all. The yard that was now crowded with people is empty now. Joo-hee grabbed her skirt and started running along the wall. Why are we doing this parallel now? Why is this a thing that's happening? Okay, cool. Can't wait for the awkward moment when we run into each other again. After I just said, I'll avoid you, make your life easier. Surprise, fate says no, and we're back in my point of view. Great. I'm looking forward to this awkwardness. I was talking with Translator Choi when Wong-sam suddenly walked into the yard. Guess he already talked to Joo-hee and Woo-sung outside since he just bowed when he saw me. Wong-sam intimidated Translator Choi that he's going to search his house right now. Translator Choi chuckled with his cold face and went inside the detached house. Soon, I began to search through the house with Wong-sam. What was really odd is the order Wong-sam gave to the other policeman. Let me know if you find anything made of iron. Look carefully around and inside the house. That was quite odd, so I kept asking and Wong-sam finally opened his mouth. Jeez, I shouldn't tell this to anyone. Well, actually, we found some weird things stuck on his clothes everywhere. On his clothes? Yes. We moved the body to the Post-young and washed the body. We hung the clothes that covered the body with vinegar. And when we dried the clothes, some powder was falling down from the clothes. It's because we put vinegar in rice wine leaves. No, it's not that. Something glossy. Glossy? Maybe I should call it glitter? What? I mean, it looks like iron powder. When we gathered them all and smelled it, it smelled like iron, but I don't know why it was on his clothes. Why we didn't know about that powder at the scene. They stripped off the clothes before you came, so there's no way you would have known. And after that, the clothes were soaked with vinegar and rice wine leaves. Well, it bothers me now too that you told me. Is it okay if I come by the potion and check the color and the form of the powder? Well, that's... Longsam got flustered, but then he got closer and whispered, they said anything that's transferred from the Ministry of Justice is confidential. Gosh, they're the ones who said it was just an accidental death by cow or horse. That's why we can't say anything, including that powder on the clothes. Seoyeon nagged me so much about it. Why does this... Come to think of it, there's no Seoyeon next to Longsam. He stared vacantly in the air and asked, where is Seoyeon now, by the way? I don't think I saw her in the yard either. Maybe she got in later, but it was not normal that she's not next to Longsam right now. Huh? Well, I told her to take the day off since she didn't look good. Oh, my baby, no! Don't worry. I mean, of course, Seoyeon insisted on staying, but you know how upset she is. She doesn't take care of herself. Of course, it would be hard for her to look fine now. I'm sorry, baby, I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I shouldn't be used to having you around like this, right? Why don't I just become a police officer? Well, other than the fact that I have to pretend being a man, of course, but why not? Huh? Well, actually, I would have the limitations of the law. Never fucking mind. Look around a couple more times and then let's go out, sir. Park Wong-sam walked ahead briskly. I couldn't move my feet, but then I decided to follow him, feeling blinded. Ooh, what? Okay, I guess we're going inside the house now. And back to Juhi's point of view, right when she broke inside the house. Okay, cool. Great. This house is such a maze. Where is he? Juhi has been circling around the same place for half an hour. She got scared and only walked around some isolated places like behind the detached house, near servant's house or near the storage, but Hisu is nowhere. Girl, I'm so worried for you because if this guy is the actual killer, I am actually scared for you. No! You must be walking around free inside the wall. The music stopped. Juhi, please be okay. Should I go in then? I don't like it. Usually when the music cuts out, it's bad. Oh, this music's fine. Never mind. Okay, good. Look, I give her a lot of shit all the time. She also gives me a lot of shit. It's normal. But if anything happened to her, I'd be so fucking angry. No one hurts my Juhi. Okay, she was about to put her foot onto the main building. Then she heard some whimpering noise from behind the building. She thought it was one of Translator Choi's family at first. She was surprised and was about to turn around and leave. But then those shoulders looked familiar and the clothes stuck out of the corner was black. Seoyeon? Juhi felt something was weird, so she mustered up her courage and got closer. Seoyeon? Damo. Oh my no! I did this to you. Baby, I'm so sorry. Oh my god, I am the worst person. I mean, I understand why, but babe. Oh my god, give her a hug because I clearly can't. Juhi loudly held her breath, grabbing her skirt when she noticed a familiar face. Baby, please don't cry, I love you. Seoyeon got surprised and got up at the same time Juhi stuck her face in front of her. Who made you cry? About that. What? No, I wasn't crying. You were, honey. Sorry. Juhi reached her hand before Seoyeon could answer with a flustered voice. All Juhi did was wiping the tears off Seon's face with her hands, but Seoyeon froze like she just got hit and didn't even blink. Are you like me? Has it been a while since someone actually touched you kindly and didn't like scream or hit at you? Oh no. Seoyeon, I'm sorry. I'm glad Juhi's there for her. Juhi looked at her hand wet with tears and looked up. What is it? Is the potion giving you a hard time? No. Juhi, give her a hug! Juhi, give her a fucking hug! Oh my god, babe! Seoyeon swept her wet hair, stuck on her face, off her eyes, and with her last 3 fingers. Babe, I'm so sorry. Your eyes are purple! Oh my god. Babe. I've said it like a million times, but purple is my favorite color. Yes! Anyway, I'm sorry you're crying. But Juhi could see her throat was moving fast, swallowing her tears. Juhi was looking at Seon's eyes turned red from crying, and behind her ears soaked with sweat and gave a sigh. Babe. Well, just saying she wasn't crying didn't mean anything. She was crying a lot. I'm sorry. I love you. I'm sorry. I'm the worst. I am the actual worst. Do you want to have some alone time?
No, you don't have to.
Seoyeon quickly shook her head. Juhi turned her finger, pointing at the door, and pointed behind Seoyeon this time. Then do you want me to be with you?
Huh? You don't have to do that either.
You can't decide on your own, I will. I'll be sitting next to you for a while. I'm asking you to let me sit with you because I want to. Aww. Juhi folded her skirt, sitting down on the stone stairs that Damo Seoyeon was sitting, and looked up. I'm really asking you a favor. I actually jumped over the wall without asking my brother first. I think it would be fine if I tell him I was next to you. Only after Juhi made a reason for her to stay, Seoyeon sat next to her as well with a dumbfounded face. Wait, is she crying because she saw me? I owe you so many cuddles and kisses, oh my god. She can't ask a favor to anyone, but she can't say no to people when they ask a favor. So this was the only way. Juhi looked at Seoyeon for a while, supporting her chin with her hands. But even after sitting next to her, Seoyeon seemed hesitant. She didn't look stern at all as her usual face. Her cheek looked skinnier and her face looked even paler. Babe, do not starve yourself because I'm stupid. No!
Thank you for caring about me, but you don't have to spend time on me.
Seoyeon, it's because she cares about you that she wants to spend time on you, okay? After a while, Seoyeon carefully opened her mouth with a soft tone that only those who are close to her can recognize. Even as she's talking, she kept rubbing her unglazed sword handle.
Also, I'm sorry that I surprised you with my appearance now. I'll help you get out without getting caught.
Seoyeon gave a sigh and tried to get up. You surprised me?
Yes.
I wasn't really surprised. Anyone can cry. Literally anyone. Juhi held her breath for a while and gave an apologetic smile. I wasn't surprised, but I was worried. I wondered what happened. Well, let's see. We're both crying. Connect the dots. You're smarter than most people here.
No, I won't expect her to remember that.
Seoyeon flinched her eyebrows like she just heard something weird. Sadly, she was really surprised. I don't know what she's been learning from the Pochang, but I'm sure it is all useless nonsense.
Worried?
Seoyeon sat down again. She didn't say anything special, but she didn't get up and leave either. She just sat up straight from the distance and kept looking at the ground.
I feel uncomfortable if you're worried about me and wonder.
And I can't even worry as I want because it makes you uncomfortable? Juhi kept looking at Seoyeon when she talked, but Seoyeon couldn't look Juhi in the eyes well. Seoyeon kept licking her lips like she was debating, and she carefully opened her mouth like she just made a big decision.
Actually, someone broke my heart.
Stop, you're breaking mine. Oh my god, I guess it's only fair, baby. I legitimately, usually I can jump ahead and figure out plot points, but I do not know how we're going to fix this. I'm sorry that the time period is different and that people are ignorant and I want to be with you so bad. Yep, staring contest. Oh my, you just say your heart got broken? Juhi, don't make her say it again.
Yes, my heart got broken.
I'm sorry. As Juhi didn't say anything, Seoyeon quickly added,
but it's just a minor thing for you to care, so you don't have to.
Not if you're crying this much, honey. Wait a minute, so there was a guy? Yep. Guy.
Yes.
Seoyeon bit her lips after saying that. Her eyes were determined, but her face was turning red. Oh my. Who rejects Damo J? What kind of idiot is that?
Huh?
I'm sure that guy has terrible taste.
Yeah, I do, apparently.
He kicked his own luck. It's like giving a gold horseshoe to a dog and give a title to a cow.
Lady Juhi.
I thought something terrible had happened. It's nothing. Damo J, you can gather 100 guys and pick the best one like puppies in the mark. Aw. It's a weird way to comfort her, but I'm glad she's doing it. Don't let your heart get broken by that guy. It's alright. Seoyeon was embarrassed and tried to stop Juhi, but then just gave up. They caught their eyes and Seoyeon lowered her head and laughed quietly. Then she wiped her tears off her face with the back of her hand. Some of the hairs that touched the eyes were still wet and tangled. Those hairs started to be untangled slowly by the wind. Oh. I'm glad Juhi was there for her. Jesus, I'm sorry. I didn't know I made you cry that much. Oh, back to douchebag point of view, aka me. Fucking fix this. You fucking owe her so much. You actually owe Juhi a lot too, because she was there for you, fucking dick. Ugh. I know. She's ignorant, but come on. Why are my ears itchy? The moment I went out the gate, I felt like someone was pulling the back of my head and my ears were itchy. When I went out of the house, touching my ears, the sun was already setting. I went out quickly since I made them wait too long, but only Woo-sung was outside the gate, of course. Where is Juhi and the clients? Woo-sung shook his head and gave a sigh. Ga-hyung said she can't stay in front of Translator Choi's house like this because it makes her angry too much. She said she just wanted to go home, so I let her go before it gets too dark. Did you all leave Woo-sung by himself? Oh, poor baby brother, I'm sorry. You should have let her stay for a little longer. Why did you just let her go? Tie her to a chair. Not like that. What about Juhi? And Shim Juhi? Woo-sung looked away too obviously and scratched his neck. Did you look around the house with the policeman? Great, we're gonna skip right over that. Huh? There was nothing how hard we searched through the house. But where's Juhi? Oh, that's... Woo-sung looked back like he was anxious, and I could see some dirt on the back of his shirt. I called Woo-sung and turned him back. There were 2 to 3 footprints on his back. Yup. Did Juhi get into the house? Yes, she kept insisting that you were taking too long and she has to get in and check on you. Told her she shouldn't do that. At the same time, Wong-sung was looking around like he's looking for someone. Seon's not out yet? Where is she? Hey, you. There must be someone who was with her. But all the policemen shook their heads. Wait, no, you gave her the day off. What is this? They say no one was with Seon. I pushed through the policeman and put my hands on the gate first. I'll go in and look for her. Then, even before I pulled, the gate was open and Juhi stuck out her head. I'm sorry I didn't ask you first. No, you are no snow. Then Seon walked out next to her. Hi. Seon greeted me briefly with a cold attitude and then went among the policemen. Hi babe, I'm sorry. I could hear the policeman talking to Seon from the back. Where were you? You should do this and that when we got back. Oh, leave her alone. I kept listening to all those unnecessary conversations. Why were you with Seon? Did you bother her again? Bother her? I took the time for her this time. I ran into her crying, so I comforted her. I'm glad you told me, but hey! I'm pretty sure she didn't want me knowing that. Juhi pouted her mouth as if she felt unfair. Even what else is new? Crying? Juhi's voice was so calm, but I was so shocked that my heart started to shrink. I will say I love how blunt she is. I was so surprised and nearly rushed to ask her. Why? Why did she cry? Do I have to tell you all the details? You're a Yongbang guy who's so far from Damoje anyway. Some things are just between girls. Well, I'm a girl, so fuck off. I could hear Wong-sung shouting that he's going back now, but I couldn't turn around. While Woo-sung says goodbye to him for me, I still couldn't move and just stood there like my feet were stuck. Let's go back. And I should go visit Ga-hyung before we go. I have something to ask. Okay. Slowly closed my eyes and opened them again. It was all distracting, but there's nothing that can't be solved if I think about it. I've already talked to Seon about what I need to say. Also, I'll just have to investigate weird stories by Translator Choi or Ga-hyung's lie from now on. Even so, I still felt suffocating around my chest. Alright, let's go. Where does she live again? I raised my head more briskly on purpose, and we realized that we don't know where she lives. It's about right. Well, she called Lawyer Park her husband, so they must have been living together. If we find Lawyer Park's house, then she must have been there. Right. It's easier to find the house with Mr. Park's name than with a woman's name. We were not sure if Ga-hyung was still there in the house of a dead man. We decided to look for Itaewon Park's house. Suddenly, I could hear a screeching sound from the back. When I looked back, Translator Choi was sticking his body and then smiled at us. Are you looking for Lawyer Park's house? It's not that far. If you go along the way that goes to the outer area of east side of Itaewon, it's the first house with the broken totem pole. Okay, thank you. That's weird that you know that. The Lawyer Park's house that Translator Choi told us was right inside. It's quite far since he lives somewhere far away from the town. Okay, kind of pretty, I guess. Oh, hi, you two. There it is. I think someone's in there. You gonna run in first and ask questions later? I'll go first. Okay. Woo-sung shook a twig gate called Ga-hyung. Is Ga-hyung inside? Client, are you there? Soon the door opened and it wasn't Ga-hyung who came out. There were a bunch of people from an old lady to a middle-aged bachelor and some intimidating looking guys looking at us carefully. One of them put on his straw shoes and came out.
Who are you? What are you people? Are you looking for Guy Hyung here?
It seemed he knows Guy Hyung. Who are you then? Do you know Itaewon Park?
Huh? You asking me who I am? I'm the younger brother of the person you just mentioned.
What? Itaewon Park's brother? Then Guy Hyung, Mr. Park, and all those people that look like his families were living in this small house together? He was staying with his family while he was playing around? When I got flustered and just looked at them, that younger brother laughed aloud and added, "Oh, I guess you knew my brother when he was alive. After he died, all his family and relatives came to Hanyang for a while. I'm gonna go back soon, so don't be surprised. We just came here to deal with something. How do you know my brother?"
Well, that's...
Guy Hyung hired us. Well, we hired Mr. Park from some cases. I hired Mr. Park for some cases in the past, and that's how I knew him. We became friends ever since, but now I can't even have a funeral, so I felt frustrated and just came by. Gosh, Mr. Park, why did you have to leave so early? Alright, keep feeding my bullshit. When I interrupted Juhee and Woo-sung and started lying, Juhee's eyes got bigger. But I feel like this family is not fond of Guy Hyung at all. Yeah, probably. I feel like we shouldn't be honest and tell them we're here to do Guy Hyung's favor. And the younger brother got relaxed after hearing me and nodded. Why did you call her name first when you got here? That's... Then I could hear the familiar voice of a woman from the back. Sir! Oh, you motherfucker, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my god. Mr. Park's house turned into chaos as his family rushed out. Mr. Park's mother ripped Young hair. What? Mr. Park's mother ripped Guy Hyung's hair off. His brother came out with a bat in his hand. His daughter and nephews were screaming at her. And Guy Hyung was screaming too with their hair grabbed by his mother. What the actual fuck? You lowly bastards. Let me go. Your hair's still on. Let me go. You manipulative little skank. I told you I'll kill you if you come back here again. Let's die together today. What the hell? What is wrong? What is with you lot and threats? You bitch. Holy hell. He's killing me. He's killing me. Hey, knock it off. What are you doing? Seriously. In that chaos, my clothes got ripped off, my gat string snapped, and even I got slapped. After a round of turmoil, Guy Hyung spat towards Mr. Park's family and backed away first, and Mr. Park's family is starting to look at us angrily. Oh, well, now I see that you are all on the same side, huh? How dare you try to get my family's money? What are you talking about? Who's taking whose money? There's gotta be some misunderstanding. Get them! Hey! What? Mr. Park's family started to come at us. Woo-sung tried to stop them, but there's no way he could stop them all when they all rushed together. Let's run away, brother. Hey, take Juhee! So I started to run back where I came from with Juhee. Okay, good, we're taking her. Guy Hyung was staring blankly and then started to run as soon as she realized the situation. Woo-sung started running at last. Mr. Park's family started to throw everything they grabbed in the way for the brass bolt of the wooden poker on us. Hey, free shit! Hurry, we have to hurry. Woo-sung ran past everyone and grabbed my wrist. Only after running until we were almost out of breath, then we could stop. Everyone panted together. My legs felt so weak that I almost sank to the ground. Gosh, what? I was soothing my chest and frowning. Then I noticed the blood on Woo-sung's pants. Did you hurt your leg? Huh? Oh, I got hit by a bull. No, you didn't. No way. A bull does not make you bleed like that. It's okay. Felt terrible watching him pull out a piece of bull stuck on his leg. Oh, it must have been a ceramic bowl. Okay, that makes sense. Then I got off on Guy Hyung. Are you hiding something? You must be hiding something. We can't help someone who's trying to fool us when we don't even know who killed Lawyer Park. What? No, sir. What would I be hiding? Fuck you. Guy Hyung didn't know what to do and shook her head. When she caught my eyes, she held her breath. Meanwhile, Woo-sung's leg was still bleeding, and when I looked at it closely with the torch that was hanging on the wall in the street, I could see some leftover pieces were still on his legs, shining. I felt a surge of anger. Gosh, I heard something from Translator Choi. Why don't you say he had a will? Wait. Then Guy Hyung interrupted. She was about to cry. Oh, boo-hoo, I don't care at this point. I'll tell you everything, so please don't be mad. Too late. I didn't tell you only because I was worried that you might suspect me. Nothing else. That's the problem! If you were worried that you might be suspected, then you should have told me first about it for that very reason. You must have heard the rumor. My husband certainly wrote a will that he's going to leave his property to me. That's not just about giving all the money to me. If you're a lawyer, you might be in danger someday, so he's just preparing for the worst. Uh-huh. Preparing the worst. What does that mean? Will says that if something happens to my husband by someone else, he wants me to proceed with the trial with that money. That's all. Not the money for me to live happily ever after. It was for the trial. That's why I wanted you to figure out that he was killed by someone.
If he was killed by someone, she must proceed with the trial. He prepared the cost of his trial. Then I heard rustling from the bush. We freaked out and got up, worried that all of his family found us, but there was only one of them coming out. It was the younger brother we met earlier. He's looking at us in a huff, then scoffed at Guy Hyung.
Oh, I see that you were all planning this together. You were all in it together. Did you all kill my brother together? I didn't even know who he was until this was brought up, so no. What are you talking about? My brother was an idiot. Okay. Giving his property to Guy Hyung when he was killed by someone? What a stupid will that is. Since he wrote that kind of will, it's of course that Guy Hyung would want to kill my brother, and even though she loved my brother, he ended up being beaten to death that night. The younger brother wiped the sweat off his forehead and frowned. You're proceeding the trial? It's obvious that my brother was killed by you, who got the will. Now you're trying to get the money with that excuse? You're gonna run away with that money, aren't you? I warned you that you could be thankful that we didn't kill you already, and you should stay away. What are you talking about? You and your mother are the shameless ones. You haven't even seen him for 5 years, and now you come to his house suddenly and try to dispose of his property? You're like thieves who are waiting for my husband to die and then game to get the money. You are not a family. You are all thieves. Now you're even trying to put the blame on me. What did you just say? You killed my sturdy brother and tried to get the money using that will, you sly fox. You're lying through your teeth like nothing. You're so pathetic. How can you even call yourself his family? All your distant relatives all came for the money. No wonder my husband didn't want to talk about his family, because his family was a bunch of parasites.
What? Parasite? What the? Homicide. You wanted to proceed with the trial if it's homicide. Wait. Stop fighting, you two. When exactly did he write in the will? Was it that he's proceeding with a trial with translator Choi, or was it before?
Huh? It was when he was proceeding the trial. It was quite recent, like about a month ago.
And let me ask you a question too, younger brother. I believe you haven't sold everything in the house yet, right? Do you still have the material related to the trial? Recent trials? I think they're somewhere in the house. The younger brother still looked at me disapprovingly. Go get it.
What? Why do I have to? Go get it right now.
Okay, good. Good to see that I still have some authority here. Fan-fucking-tastic. Great. Still thinking about how I made the love of my life cry. Ugh. Alright, cool. And we're back to Juhi's point of view. Good. I don't know why we're switching so much, but sure. Juhi woke up early in the morning. What? Okay, we're over here now. Yusu was reading the documents all night until the rooster crowed at dawn. Now he's sleeping on the desk. Oh, this is when we got back. Okay. He left a note on the table. Wake me up before 9 a.m. What is he talking about waking him up at 9 a.m. when he was up until the morning? He's going to faint in the middle of the street. That is called not taking care of ourselves and being so buried in our work. I know this because I do it all the time. Anyway, I decided to let him sleep for one more hour and turned around. Suddenly I heard a loud gasping sound from the back, and then Hisu got up. Dear Lord! What time is it? Hisu shouted with some old shabby gout on his neck instead of the one that got its string cut off. As soon as he woke up, he just blinked his eyes, grabbing the document, and then looked up. Where's Woo-sung? He went to see the doctor alone. He hurt his leg. Hisu hurriedly gathers the records of Royal Park's trial and put them all back in the box again. He got the box of documents from the younger brother of Mr. Park last night, and he read them all until the dawn. From what Juhi thinks, he could have just read about the trial with translator Choi. He was just reading about all the trials that happened before the trial with translator Choi. Looked stupid, but she couldn't stop him since he insisted that he has to, and is probably thinking about something more than you. So, was it worth reading everything? Yes, it was. Hisu gathered all the documents, put them all in the box, and then shook his hands. The trial didn't go well for Lawyer Park this time. That's it? That's it. Hisu laughed brightly. Then Woo-sung came into Jong Huso. He saw Hisu waking up already and then frowned. Why are you up already? Tell me about it. He's going to die young. Y'all are brats. Gosh, is that how Northern Village ladies talk? Let's see. How was your wound, Woo-sung? Did they sterilize it well? When Hisu bent over, Woo-sung rolled up his pants and showed him his leg. He put some ointment made of something like crushed grass, and he also got the wooden box of medicine. Usually Woo-sung is so blunt, but he's like a docile child in front of Hisu. He opened the box and showed his leg to him. Yuki found it ridiculous and looked angrily at him, but Woo-sung just smiled and enjoyed Hisu's attention. Okay. Yes, they pulled out the little pieces out with a tong and a needle. Ow, that sounds like it hurts. They said it might get infected if it gets into the blood and warned me not to use my leg often. Get infected? That's weird. The bowl is made of dirt. How do you get infected?
Because it's made of dirt!
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people use dirt as medicine too. What the fuck kind of medical? Okay. It's because of the glaze. They don't just bake it with only dirt. They put the glaze on any kind of bowl. That can become a poison and infect the body. Right. As he answered, Casey tied up his new gat and started to get dressed. He adjusted his clothes quickly, not like the one who was sleeping just until a while ago, and opened the door right away. Let's go. Where? To get the suspect. Okay, cool. You know something I don't, clearly. Okay, cool. And back in my point of view. Still don't know why we switched like that, but okay. Oh shit, Wong-sam's here, which means, okay. Let's go. Sir, what is this house? I've never seen this before. Wong-sam got dumbfounded and tilted his head looking at that luxurious gate. So did the policeman behind him. Crowds were gathering since a group of policemen were walking around in the middle of Itaewon. I couldn't get near Translator Choi's house since he had all the intimidating servants around his house, but other houses didn't have any protection. And I came close to the gate and shouted, "Get over here!" Soon a servant came out and opened the gate. The owner of the house greeted me with a surprised face. "Oh, it's you, sir. What brought you here today?" I exchanged greetings with him and just went into his house without permission. And the policemen all followed me in and they started to search the house as I told them before. Translator Ku got flustered for a while, then he just laughed as if he had no reason to avoid the investigation. I seem to be a lot more confident lately. "What is this? I thought you needed more money for the request, but then you were insulting me like that out of the blue." And the crowd started gathering near his walls. Soon Guy Hyung ran into the yard. So is investigations like this normally a crowd deal where people come and watch, kind of like public executions? Okay. "Sir, what is going on? Why are you searching through his house?" Guy Hyung's hair was disheveled again. Behind her was the younger brother of Mr. Park. They might have had another fight since they both looked quite angry. What else is new? Soon the policemen started opening all the places that are locked, including storage, and reported it back. And Wong-sam summarized it at once. There are only a few places where you can hide a person, and most of them are the products for sale. To mention a few big places, there is a place for silver coins, a place for storing rice, a place for pots, and a place for fabric. Also. And no, I think that's enough. I'm gonna go to one of the places you mentioned right now. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. Can I go to all of them, or am I allowed one? Well, I'm gonna save really fast, just in case. Let's go fabric. A fabric storage. I opened the storage for fabric with all the policemen and the crowd. Ooh. Storage was full of fabric and the dust was fluttering. Gross. Ugh. Wong-sam looked around a little and turned to me. "Why are we here?" "I wish I can buy a new pair of clothes." "What the fuck?" "No, this is not the place. Let's go back." "Oh, so it has to be a specific place. Okay, what about rice?" "Rice storage." I wasn't really thinking about any of this, okay? I didn't know that it'd be important. Hey, look, because I'm this dumb, you get to see all the options, hooray! I opened the storage for rice with all the policemen in the crowd. Storage was full of rice bags. It makes me feel like I'm being rich just by looking at it. Wow, imagine making alcohol with all this rice. Of course you would think that. By the way, why are we here? I think I got hungry and distracted a little. I wish I could have white rice as much as I want. Huh? No, this is not the place. Let's go back. Okay, coins? Silver coin storage. I opened storage for silver coins with all the policemen in the crowd. It looks empty. The storage was full of silver coins. Bitch, where? And they were all cleaned so well that they were shiny. This is an empty room. Oh, this is so pretty. Wong-sam was looking at those silver coins and turned to me. Why are we here? You said there was some glossy and glittery powder on his hand, right? Powder that smells like iron. I'm sure it's this. Whoa, what? Was that the silver powder? Wong-sam got surprised and capped. Oh, I guess I found it. Then the policeman started gathering the powder on the floor. But Wong-sam shook his head looking at the powder on his hand. No, the color is completely different. This looks like some dark dust, doesn't it? Surprisingly not shiny at all. As he said that, I looked at Wong-sam's hand. Silver powder mixed with dust really wasn't shiny at all. Let's go back. I got it wrong. Okay. Pots then. We get to see all the options because I'm dumb. Excellent. Pots now. A pot storage. I hope it's the ceramics. I opened the storage for pots with all the policemen in the crowd. Ooh, pretty. Storage was full of pots and it was all ginseng pots with vivid covers. These were the pots that Translator Ku was bragging about the other day. I bent over and swept the floor with my hand. There was nothing, as if someone just cleaned the floor very recently. Someone swept the floor so hard with a push rod even though it's a dirt ground. Someone must have swept it and cleaned this place so that there wouldn't be, I guess, any residual dust. Oh. That's why. Translator Ku smiled and touched his beard. Is there something on the floor? No. There's nothing. By the way, how much is this jinsa pot? Well, some pot costs just as much as a house, and some cost just as much as a horse. Why do you ask? I think I'm going to take one. I grabbed the medium-sized pot and threw it on the ground. That expensive jinsa pot was destroyed, and everyone's eyes got bigger watching it. If you don't have the dust, you make the dust. Oh my god, good job, Hisu. The color of the pot I just destroyed was dark red. I broke a piece of the pot with my feet, grabbed the green pot this time and threw it to the ground again. Translator Ku freaked out and grabbed my hand. Or I'm pulling a heckin' Skyrim, because in Skyrim, if you want to make Bursey talk, you smash his prized pot. So, we're either trying to make our client talk by destroying all of his pots, or we're trying to see if we can get some dusty residue. But I think we're trying to make him talk now. What are you doing? Do you even know what it is? There are so many stores that sell pots in Hanyang. Don't overreact over just a couple of pots. I'll buy you from some other store. These are so rare that I'm the only one who has these products in Hanyang. Stop this madness. I took my hands off and let the policemen mash the pieces of the pot with the tip of their spears. Everyone got dumbfounded since those two pots got destroyed. The policeman picked up some pieces that were on the ground well to me, and I put those pieces on the cloth and brought them out to the yard. The pieces of jinsa pots started shining ominously under the sunlight. Okay, yes, it is to expose the powder because there wasn't any because it was swept up. So by smashing some, you make your own. Yes! Okay, cool. Inspector Park, is this the same color in the form of the smelly powder you saw from the dead man's body? Huh? Longsum got surprised and dropped his jaw. Then he squatted down and started looking at those pieces. Yes, the powder was exactly like this. Couldn't tell if it was black, red, or blue, and it smelled like iron. Is this the smell of ceramics? Why was it on the body? Then the policeman started finding more pieces of pots from the very corner of the storage that can't be pushed anymore by a push rod. No matter how well you store the pots on the wooden shelf, the pot made out of dirt has to be damaged from the corner, and the powder would fall off the bottom when there isn't any glaze. There's only one reason that this powder was on the body. It's because you, Translator Ku, locked Lawyer Park in the storage, isn't it? That powder mixed with the dust on the floor got on his body when he was here. And Wongsam tilted his head curiously. But it's still a little odd. Why would anyone lock someone in the pot storage? What if that person kicks the shelf and breaks all these expensive pots? Wouldn't that be poisoning then? That's a good question. So from that, you can know one more thing. Lawyer Park was already dead when he was in the storage. Right, okay, I should probably voice my thoughts more as they're racing behind my eyes, but I was also thinking like, you could totally lock the body in here because you'd kill them elsewhere, right? I don't know, maybe. You couldn't struggle. That's the fact. Translator Ku got really surprised and his hand grabbing the cane was shaking. His eyes were everywhere as if he was thinking what to say and the crowd started rumbling. Guy Hyung jumped in and grabbed him by his throat. Lady, let me handle it before you start. You're gonna get yourself thrown in prison. Son of a gun! Did you kill my husband? Then why didn't you tell me to proceed with the trial? You even gave me money for it. You crazy bastard, did you play with me? Oh, he most certainly did. Guy Hyung started punching Translator Ku on his face and his chest. Translator Ku pushed Guy Hyung on the ground with one hand. Then he looked at me with a disturbed face. Doesn't make sense, sir. Seoyeon Park is my lawyer. The trial was going well. Why would I kill my own lawyer right before the final trial? Doesn't make sense at all. Woo-sung put down the box of trial documents in front of me. The trial wasn't going well at all. It was the opposite since the Ministry of Justice was doing their best to interrupt him. Which is what Mr. Choi said, right? Or Translator Choi. What are you talking about? Do you even hear yourself? Translator Ku scoffed in bewilderment and shook his head. If I killed the lawyer just because I'm worried about losing the trial, then I get to completely lose the trial. Do you think that makes any sense? What kind of idiot kills the lawyer just because he's worried about losing the trial? You're right. And the reason you killed Lawyer Park is not that you blamed him for the trial. I got the answer from what you told me before. I could guess his motive from that sentence he said, which is, oh fuck. I need to actually figure out what this means, but just in case this goes horribly, horribly wrong. Yes, save. I feel like let me know if you need more money is the least likely here. But I'm gonna try it anyway because I'm between the pots and the money. Actually, all of them could be, money? Because it seems likely. And also, I also said it was weird about the money thing too. You told me to let you know if I need more money, not Guy Hyung. That you're paying for all the money anyway. What about it? You were trying to make me investigate this case. Yes, I was, because I wanted to know who did it. I wouldn't have asked you if I had known that you were such an idiot. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I guess this motive from the sentence he said, which is... Okay, so that's not it. Okay, because for me, my number one answer that, like, in my head, because I always go, like, second least likely and the most. Fuck, this is hard. I didn't know how to get back at Choi. You told me once that you really wanted to get back at Translator Choi, but you just didn't know how because he always has gangsters around him. What about it? He became a cripple. To be honest, I want to make him the same as revenge. But you couldn't make him the same because, like you said, he always has intimidating gangsters around him. Yes, it's true. That's why I tried to settle this through the normal trial. I wanted to get punished through the Ministry of Justice. I think that's quite a decent way to settle things, isn't it? Tried to turn the law. What's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. You hired Lawyer Park because you really wanted to win. You were waiting for Translator Choi to get punished for what he's done. Then that was impossible, because Lawyer Park was already been hated too much by the Ministry of Justice to win the trial. I searched through the box and put all the materials related to Translator Ku's trial to the yard. It had all the records of how Lawyer Park was interrupted in all kinds of ways and how frustrated he got. The Ministry of Justice was waiting for an opportunity to keep Lawyer Park from being involved in any trial ever. But Lawyer Park didn't say anything about that to you. Translator Ku kept promising you that you're going to win. But how can you not know about this? You must have felt that you're losing the trial. So you're saying that I got annoyed at the lawyer who didn't win and killed the man because he wasted my money? It's not about the money. I'm still talking about revenge against Translator Choi. If Translator Choi wins the trial, you can't get back at him in any way at all. Can't sue him anymore, can't even come at him since he's already surrounded by his intimidating gangsters. So you just had to deal with being a cripple on your own. What about it? So you started to think, if you feel so safe with your gangsters around you, I'm going to use them against you. I'm going to make you go down because of that gangster. You knew you were going to lose your trial, so you were going to have another trial after falsely accusing Translator Choi of abetting a murder. Then you beat your lawyer to death. If you're sued again, you won't be able to get away this time. Because this is a murder, not an assault. The Ministry of Justice won't be able to turn a blind eye this time. That was Translator Ku's logic. It's actually a good idea. Wait, did I actually get it? Because that was like my actual first choice in my head. And usually I go with my second choice. The Jinso pot was just weird. Okay, cool, second shot. Because the Ministry of Justice already knows that you became a cripple for an unfair reason. They would have been thinking already it was Translator Choi who killed Lawyer Park. I mean, you had enough circumstantial evidence. But there was one thing you didn't think through well. The Ministry of Justice had a deeper hatred towards Lawyer Park than you thought. That's why they didn't even respond well to the case of his murder. They didn't even put minimum effort into examining his body. No initial autopsy, and they just concluded that it was an accidental death. Translator Ku found out the situation was much worse than he thought, and he noticed that his concubine Gai Hyung was furious and tried to solve the case. He wanted to support her in every way he can. And he told me all the suspicious things about Translator Choi, trying to make me interrogate him. He wanted me to be his witness. Translator Ku didn't say anything for a while. Then someone came out through the crowd. It's the younger brother who came here with Gai Hyung earlier. He was crying and punched at Translator Ku's chin. You bastard! You wanted to get help from my brother and you killed him for that reason? I'd understand more if you killed him because he lost the trial. You trying to kill my family for your revenge. Oh, I got it. That younger brother kept beating the Translator until he got dragged out by the policeman. And then the policeman tied Translator Ku and arrested him. Translator Ku bit his lips. He was limping his leg a lot when he was dragged out by the policeman. When I was about to step out from the gate, I could hear a loud wailing. Translator Ku missed his cane and fell down to the ground, crying out loud. Oh, you baby, you got caught, bitch. You got fucking caught. After a while, some time has passed, I guess. Gai Hyun called me in with a much better face. There was Mr. Park's brother there as well. He said he was helping Gai Hyung opening a tavern in Taewon. I'm just giving her some money to open a tavern and live here alone since I don't want to see her face again. Now we had a funeral for my brother, so I won't ever have to see her face ever again. He said it in a mean way, but he was actually doing his best to help open a tavern for Gai Hyung, probably because he knew that she loved him. They were tearing each other's hair and fighting until just a few days ago. I was joking about calling her his sister-in-law, putting nails on the wooden bench for her. Aww. Gai Hyung was wandering around the kitchen and the yard as if she's looking for something, then came to me with a bag of money on her hand. Oh, here's the money I promised. So are you sure this is enough? Just give me some free meals when I come by. I would love it if you can come by. Gai Hyung seemed so thankful that I started to feel proud of myself. I am too, that didn't take nearly as long as it normally does. At the same time, I could see people from the Poshang passing by over the wall. We finished Translator Ku's case, and aside from that, we transferred the Translator Choi's case to the Post Young as well. Superintendent Zhang is now working on it, so Translator Choi wouldn't be able to get away without punishment this time. After tying Translator Choi, there was a parade of policemen going back to the Post Young from Itaewon, and I could see Seon's skinny back among the crowd. Abe. And I finally found my peace of mind. While watching Seon, my heart was calm and peaceful. I felt so comfortable and I wasn't feeling stuffy on my chest. I wasn't distracted at all from my work. And there's nothing that time can't solve. Working hard is the best. It's always good to stay busy. Huh? Alright, good luck with your business and let me know when you open your tavern. I'll come by with my brother and sister. I left Itaewon with a light mind with Gyai Hyung seeing me off. The weather was so nice and not a cloud was on the clear sky. Oh, that's nice. Sorry I couldn't be honest with you. I guess is ending? So that's one of Seon's episodes. Okay. Right? Yeah, reviewing for the Seon episode 9 has been unlocked. Well, I still think this isn't over, but I think that's a good stopping point then since we finished, I guess, that special Seon route episode, which is good. So thank you so much whoever happens to be watching this. I still believe that there's a way to fix this because I don't think they would like purposely throw in a sad route without a happy ending, you know? But yeah, thank you so much whoever happens to be watching this. Like, comment, subscribe, really does help me out. Until next time, bye!